You can buy and sell a portfolio instead of a stock on the stock exchange. And this has become a major catalyst worldwide for growth of the asset management industry. Entire strata of income and yield funds, liquid funds. Anybody know what's a liquid fund? Liquid funds are alternatives to a savings and current account. How much you get in your savings account? 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%? Liquid funds will give you tax efficient returns of about that. Concepts. Never ever did people know in terms of investing. We got systematic investing into people. Invest as low as 500 rupees a month. That's what the industry has done. Goal-based investing. You want to get your daughter married, you want to get married, you want to go for a holiday, you want to buy property. Like I said, earlier buying property was a decision. Now it is a process. Start investing today. You have a housing loan, you want to pay off your housing loan, start investing simultaneously. Trigger-based investing. Markets upar jata hai, niche jata hai, accordingly your money will start moving between mutual funds. And that's how convenient it has become. Communication. Now, I don't know how many of you know, but we are probably the most regulated industry in the country. Even as I speak to you, I have to be very mindful about what I speak to you because it's being recorded. Okay? One of the slides missing here is mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. And even as I'm saying, I realize that it's not there. It has second nature with me, right? But then the question is, which investment is not subject to market risk? Every investment is subject to market risk. But it's only mutual funds who bring that. That's how strongly regulated we are. In spite of that, there have been asset management companies which have done a brilliant job in terms of communicating the benefits. Go to the website of IDFC Mutual Fund. There's a film called One Idiot. It'll open your eyes. Go to Axis Mutual Fund's website. They have Santa Banta cartoons which explain mutual funds. For that matter, go to our website, Edelweiss Mutual Fund. We have actually created a digital game to explain what mutual funds is. And that's what we're trying to do. Now, about innovation, I think people think innovation is something which can happen very regularly. Personally, I don't believe so. I think innovation happens once in a generation. Steve Jobs is born once in a generation. What, however, the others do is adapt and customize to latent needs. Nokia and BlackBerry fell by the side because iPhones came to the fore. But ultimately, which is the largest selling smartphone in the world today? Samsung. Samsung has gone across the spectrum, across price ranges, across features. Now, Apple doesn't want to do that, which is fine. But I'm just saying that Samsung has truly adapted according to what customer needs are. They've not innovated. In fact, they're fighting patent wars with Apple across the globe. In mutual funds, I think we've also tried to innovate. Income funds, which were introduced in 1995, is no big deal. It happens across the world. But indexation is a concept. I think efficiency sparked up growth in sharply focused categories. One of the things you will realize as you grow in life is that a very sharp focus is very energizing. Let me explain to you how. And let me explain that to you with a personal example. It's just something on the side I want to highlight to show the word sharply focused and how it works. And if you talk to successful people, they will tell you how it works. Edelweiss Mutual Fund, launched in 2008, at the peak of the crisis, has gone through problems like any other mutual fund launched in that era. I joined this company in 2010. The first thing which we did was say, let's grow the assets. So we did what an HDFC would do, what a Reliance would do. We started hawking liquid funds, anything to build the assets. Somewhere along the line, we realized that if we try to play by the rules of an HDFC or a Reliance, we'll get squashed. HDFC is 100,000 crores, Reliance is 100,000 crores. What are we? 500 crores? They can just walk over us. We got into a dialogue with our shareholders. In fact, our shareholders got into a dialogue with us. Said, let's do something different. To cut a long story short, over the last 2 years, what we've been doing is we've created our own vision statement. And that vision statement is very simple. We will help you get HNI clients in equity. That is what I tell my distributor. Why should I sell your fund? My distributor asks me. I say, we will help you get HNI clients in equity. And look how sharp the focus is. One, we will focus primarily on HNIs. Not retail, not institutions, not corporates, HNIs. And two, we will focus on equity. What has that done for us? Last 2 years, 3 or 4 major things it's done for us. One, created a very good niche for us in the industry. People know what we stand for. Two, help me retain talent. Talent has been decimated across the industry, but talent wants to remain in this company simply because they understand what is happening. It's extremely energizing. Are we 10,000 crores, 20,000 crores? No, we are in fact smaller than what we were earlier. But that has given us a completely different perspective. Now, everybody is saying the markets will take off. And guess what? It's the equity markets which will take off. And guess what? People are looking at us. They say, listen guys, you're very sharply focused on equity. You've created a track record. We want to work with you. It doesn't matter what your size is. What works for a company works for an individual. If you have your own clear strategy to grow, a very sharply focused strategy, you might stumble, you might fumble, but probably your chances of success are the highest. Focus works. It has worked here. There have been categories after categories which took a year, 2 years, 3 years to take off. But when they did, they just changed the texture of the industry. Passion finds a way. I don't want to get into too many technical details, but money market mutual funds and liquid funds are a classic example. External environment forces you to think differently. Markets are bad. What do? Equity doesn't sell. Dividend yield funds, absolute return funds. These are things which have started selling. Now let me come to my favorite slide here, the future. And this is something I'm going to agitate your mind a bit on. For all of you who are structured, in your structured mind of thinking, let me give you a few hard facts. The customer wants more for less. All of us are spoiled for choice. Correct? We want more. Just as an example, 5 years back, you would have paid 500 rupees for a credit card. Will you do that today? You will not. Okay? We want more for less. We don't want a silver card for free. We want a platinum card for free. Okay? We just don't want the card. We want to make sure that this card is available to us when we go to a jet lounge at the airport so that we can go in free. So we want more for less. What is true across the board is also true for mutual funds. Convenience and comfort are far more important than conviction. So what, Edelweiss, if your funds are doing the best? Doesn't matter. Can I invest through my mobile phone when I'm in a mall? If I can't, doesn't matter to me how good you are. Comfort and convenience are more important than conviction today. People are least bothered about what you're doing, but the how has become very important. Mobile phone, desktop, SMS, smartphone, digitization of business. This is a very interesting thing, and this always is a controversial point. We were discussing, if we have to set up a company today, starting today, what are the things we would do differently? And turns out that one of the things which we will do differently is get a good chief technology officer. You know why? It's very interesting. Conventional logic has it that do equity research, just as an example. Have an auto specialist, have a pharma specialist, all of those specialists. They'll do in-depth research, go meet the company, do a lot of things, which still happens. As times changed, they adapted. They said, let's learn technology, let's learn algorithmic trading, let's understand what is happening. Now, here comes a new breed of people who don't understand stocks at all. What they understand is big data, technology, analytics. They're saying it doesn't matter, a stock is a stock. I want to go through what is the public data available. And how will I get the public data? Not from databases alone, but from Twitter feeds, from Facebook. And I will reduce the time taken to take a decision. And that is how I'll make money. So what is more important to us today as an organization, if I have to set it up today? Is it going to be some star fund manager? Or has it got to be a chief technology officer who can actually create a quant model for me? And this is something which you have to keep asking yourselves as you go along. A chartered accountant, an MBA, what I did for a living. If you try to do what I did, maybe you'll get obsolete in 3 years. You can't do that. Maybe I'll get obsolete in 3 years. I have to evolve. You have to evolve. And the question is, who is more important, my people or my technology? So what do I need, a chief technology officer or an HR head? Very, very difficult question to answer. And I don't know 5 years from now what will happen. But this is the future. We have to grapple with this question sooner than later. Managing costs are more important than gunning for revenue. If you keep your cost structure under control, revenues will automatically follow. This is one of the lessons we learned at Birla. In fact, in most companies today, cost हाथ में रखो, धंधा करना सीखो. It happens, that is why the rich get richer. Proper allocation of resources, know when to spend and when to hold back. Okay, so managing costs are more important. Gleaning the last ounce of efficiency, and I want to share this with you. Last 3 years, I've been cutting costs in my organization without retrenching people. Not a single person has been retrenched. Year 1, I cut my costs by 20%. And I thought that was brilliant, I can't do it anymore. The next year, I cut it by another 10%. And I said, ho gaya, you scraped the barrel. I cut it by another 10% last year. This is what all corporates are doing, gleaning efficiency. So if you are not worth the money which is being spent on you as a resource, you're going to be obsolete very soon. You have to be up to date, technologically savvy, you have to read a lot. Otherwise, an organization will look at you as a resource. Are you giving me more value for what you are? If you're not, sorry. Scary, isn't it? Phase 5. I talked about 4 phases. To my mind, the stage is set for phase 5, which is an absolutely disruptive model. The asset management industry today is very lopsided. The top 5 guys have 80% of the assets, which makes it very dangerous and actually right for a disruptive business model. Look what happened when iPhone came in. Nokia was ruling the roost. I still remember having read an article saying that Nokia is the biggest multinational in India 5 years back. Anybody remember that article? Right? It has displaced Hindustan Unilever as the biggest multinational. 5 years. Look what happened. The stage is set for a disruptive business model. And what do I mean by a disruptive business model is where I want to show you this video. It's not an asset management video. It's a video which is for retail. Is it working? It's for retail. We all know what conventional retail is, right? Hypercity, Big Bazaar, Shoppers Stop. You go, you shop, aisles, neatly stacked goods. Take your wife, take your husband, take your girlfriend if you have one, take your boyfriend, and go and shop. Okay? But guess what? This model has been disrupted already. And this is happening in South Korea, one of the most technology advanced countries in the world. It will happen in India sooner than later. This is the video I just want to leave you with. Can you just play? Do you have audio?
It even changed the name itself from Tesco to Home Plus. And at last, it put a rate. Korea is a unique market. Tesco has been evolving itself, adjusting to the local market. It even changed the name itself from Tesco to Home Plus. And at last, it grew to rank number 2 in Korea. But Tesco had to overcome one obstacle, a fewer number of stores compared to the number 1 company, E-Mart. Mission: could we become number 1 without increasing the number of stores? We made an in-depth study into Koreans once more. Koreans are the second most hardworking people in the world. For them, grocery shopping once a week is a dreaded task. So we decided to approach these busy and tired people. Idea: let the store come to the people. We created virtual stores, hoping to blend into people's everyday lives. Our first try was subway stations. Although virtual, the displays were exactly the same as actual stores, from the display to the merchandise. Only one thing was different. You used smartphones to shop. Scan the QR code with your phone, and the product automatically lands in your online cart. When the online purchase is done, it will be delivered to your door right after you get home. People can relax more after work and on weekends.
실제로 보면서 사니까 진짜 더 좋은 것 같아요. 편하기도 하고.
Result: people can shop at Tesco Home Plus wherever they go without having to visit the actual store. Moreover, we could change their waiting time to shopping time. After this campaign, online sales increased tremendously. Through this campaign, 10,287 consumers visited the online Home Plus mall using smartphones. The number of new registered members rose by 76%. and online sales increased 130%. Currently, Home Plus has become #1 in the online market and is a very close second offline.
That is what I call a disruptive business model. Thank you very much. Are there any questions you would like to ask? Is there time for questions? If you wish to ask. If you don't ask, I'll think that my presentation has not been understood. If you ask me too many questions, I'll get intimidated. Feel free if you have any questions. Yes, please.
Sir, as you said that people are illiterate about financial planning, where do they invest? Suppose that awareness is created about investment, how do they decide upon which company they should choose to invest?
Okay. What's your name?
Anmol.
Anmol, that's a very interesting question. His question, for the benefit of everybody, is considering that most of us are financially not so savvy. Where do we get the information to invest? Is that your question? Right?
It's like mostly they depend on agents.
Mostly they depend on agents, correct. Okay. That's a very interesting question, and I think I can answer it with 3 parts. One is, specifically from a mutual fund point of view, SEBI has now mandated that we spend 2 basis points out of our total assets in terms of investor education. Okay, so more and more effort is being made to connect to the investor and to the distributor. The second area is you can get a lot of information from the internet. That is, if you have the patience, you have the inclination, and you have the wherewithal, there are sites which can actually help you. But my most preferred option is to do a lot of research and get across to a good financial advisor. A good financial advisor is somebody you should be able to trust blindly. It's like a family doctor. I have money, what do I do? He should be able to tell you. But like I said, he should be good. And how to judge whether it is good? It's not just by his years of experience, but also by his qualification, by word of mouth, by reference. It's almost like, if you have a daughter and you want to get her married, okay, you're actually giving your daughter away to somebody, right? You would just not give it to somebody who just comes across. You'll do a lot of research. Your hard-earned money is exactly like that. So spend time, invest time in getting a good financial advisor, and then just leave it to him. Next thing is monitor your portfolio regularly, every quarter. Just don't forget blindly, you have to trust but not blind trust. You have to monitor your portfolio. Have I answered your question? Anything else? Okay. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. And thanks for the question here.
I would now request Professor Mahindra Yadav to give memento to Mr. Vikas Sachdev as a token of appreciation. I would now request Dr. Swati Loda to give the vote of thanks.
A very good evening. And with a sigh of relief, I'm here to deliver this vote of thanks. Because it's been almost 3 months that we were working for these 3 days. That is 26th, 27th and 28th February. I think I spoke to Anand Isaac around 2 months back when we had just started planning about this innovation summit. Some of the speakers told me that we confused, do you have it on 28th January or 28th February? Because you had planned so much in advance that we thought perhaps this was 28th January. This is a vote of thanks. I was called twice on stage today. Once was to welcome everyone, and now to thank everyone. And it's going to be a long list today actually, because since this is an education institute, whatever we did in these 3 days, everything was done by the students and the faculty members, of course. as a result, the involvement, the efforts, the way it was done was really commendable, and it took a lot of time, energy, efforts on the part of everyone who belongs to this institute. एक छोटी सी कहानी मुझे अचानक याद आ गई कि जब रामायण के काल में पुल बन रहा था हिंदुस्तान से श्रीलंका जाने के लिए और भगवान राम वो पुल बना रहे थे, तो एक छोटी सी गिलहरी बार बार मिट्टी में लौटकर अपने आप को गीला करके मिट्टी में लौटती और उसके बाद जाकर के वो मिट्टी पुल पे छोड़कर आती। तो राम ने जब उनको ऐसा करते हुए देखा उस गिलहरी को, तो पूछा तुम क्या कर रही हो? तो गिलहरी ने वापस जवाब दिया कि आप लोग जितना काम कर रहे हैं पुल बनाने में उतना तो मैं नहीं कर सकती, लेकिन और उसने ऐसा लगातार उतने दिनों तक किया जब तक कि पुल पूरा नहीं बना। The only reason I wanted to state this was that there are a lot of people who have contributed in a lot of different capacities to make not only the event successful, but also to make this institute run, holding its vision and mission in place. And I hope that we'll get the same kind of support in future. And if we get that, I'm sure that in 2 years, whatever we've been able to accomplish, in coming 2 to 3 years, our speed would be 200% more than what we are doing right now. I would like to start by thanking our trustees, Mr. Mishra, who's here, who's been here since morning. Why? Because whenever we do something, the first thing he says is, if it is for the good of the institute, don't ask me, I'm ready for it. And with that commitment, we start everything, and it's wonderful to work with the kind of freedom that I get here to work. And I've always been associated only with startups in education, and that is the challenge when you handhold a nascent thing and you try to turn it on into something which becomes a cherishable thing for everyone to see. And I was sharing it with Mr. Rathi right now that the only passion I have in life is, if I change one person, I change one world. And that is the only reason I work with youth, because you can see when you make a difference. You can feel when you know that the other person has changed, transformed, learned, or kind of opened the third wisdom eye because of you. It is that satisfaction which comes with these young minds. And after thanking Mr. Mishra, I would like to thank each and every person who belongs to this institute, because starting from our peons to the admin department, to the marketing team, to the faculty members, everybody, they've been working consistently for last 3 months with us, and they even managed the show when I was not here in between for almost 2 weeks. And I was very scared since I was away to Harvard for 2 weeks in between, and I was wondering whether if anything would go haywire, but then everything was absolutely managed well. And I thank my whole team for that. Everyone I can see here, and I thank all of you for making this event successful. Thank you so much. I especially want to thank Mr. Matpal, with whom we are going to start our Center of Financial Learning in March. And with this center, we are going to start a lot of amazing, new, innovative programs. And I want to thank him also because he could get Mr. Vikas Sachdev here for us. And then he shared the secret, of course. But thank you very much for being here. I know it was very difficult for you to make it, but still, you managed. Thank you so much. I'll not thank Anand myself because you're family to me. And I don't have the words to thank you, so I can't do that. Mr. Karanjikar, thank you so much. Dalvi sir, you are family. So it's amazing to see you sitting here for the whole day. हमें लगता है आपका आशीर्वाद है, इसीलिए हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. So thank you so much for being here for the whole day. And then I have a long list of students, And sponsors, someone said. I thank all the sponsors because my throat will choke if I say so many names. I can't do that, I'm really sorry. But I would like to take the names of all the students who've been working for last 3 months. Especially last night we had some issues here and my team stayed here till 4 o'clock. Half of the people have not gone home. I'm proud of you. I would like to take some names and I want them on here. Heli Jani, Hina Patel, please run and come here, all of you. Manisha Yadav, Shiva, Akshay, Sneha, Devang, Ritesh, come quickly. Akshay Pujari, Anmol, Arendra, Chintan, Heather. One person I met the most, I believe, in last 1 month. Heather, wherever you are, come here. Ravi, I didn't meet you, but I know you've done a lot. Come quickly. Girishma, Reshma, Ekta, Deep, Harshil, Hitesh, Megha, Pooja, Saurabh, Prabhuvankar, Prateek, Kritika, Tanzeel, from our faculty team. Yeah, of course. I want to have Namita. I want Ritu also to come on stage. Ritu Upadhyay, please join us on stage. Oh, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Thank you so much. There are many more who are sitting there. I thank you all personally, but this is my team. We've been working, and this is one person who has made this possible. Passionate people like him. So 3 cheers for
अब तक बहुत बोला या बोलना नहीं Thanks, ma'am. You know, I came to Aditya just 6 months back. 5 minutes में interview हुआ है. 5 minutes में हमने कहा, "Can you join us?" And she realized that, and 5 minutes में she called Manisha ma'am and said,
certifying that I can recruit.
And उसके बाद, you know, whatever I had the strength, उस areas में मैडम ने डाला. She knew it. Please, you know. She knew it very well. It is all because of ma'am, the kind of leader that she is. You know, जिस तरह से team bonding है, जिस तरह से colleagues है, जिस तरह से management है, it's a very different kind of motivation that ma'am gives us. It's such a nice person, and I realized that this morning when I said, sir, you know, and I realized the kind of family it is and the bonding and you bring. You both of you actually bring that, you know, relationship in our organization. I have Momita ma'am there, you know, every time, you know, you don't find these kind of organizations, you know, where all employees are crying. After an event for 3 months, you know, 26 was the biggest event that we did, ma'am. We had the best colleges. And you know, the students, they were here till 12 o'clock, a lot of, बहुत लोग रोए हैं इससे पहले, मैं नहीं रोया इसमें 3 महीने, उनको बहुत रुलाया, you know, बहुत डांटा है, बहुत रुलाया, but madam has supported me, and every one of us. Thank you, ma'am. And इसके बाद next event मैम प्लान में है, मैं एग्जाम पे मिल रहा हूँ next level बता रहा हूँ. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for bearing with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.